Dropping perfectionism. Oh yes, dropping perfectionism. It's a way to avoid frustration in learning languages. So I'm a perfectionist, and that's a problem. That's a problem because since I want to learn so many languages and hard and difficult languages, there is a problem. So I decided to drop perfectionism now. So many of my languages, I know I have a lot of languages on my list, and many people say that I'm crazy, and maybe they're right, I'm crazy. But they also demotivate me sometimes. They also demotivate me to do this. You're crazy. You should keep less languages on your list. Yes, it's true. I should keep less languages on my list. That's why maybe I will shorten my list to 65 languages, and everyone still says you're crazy. Okay, anyways, I'm gonna drop perfectionism. So there are a lot of languages that my goal is intermediate level. And among those languages, some of them will be low intermediate level, some of them will be intermediate, and some of them will be upper intermediate level as my goal. And now talking about higher goals. So I had a lot of C1s on my list, and I still do have a lot of C1s on my list. But I'm only near native in Spanish, and maybe I can say in English. I believe I can say I'm at the beginning of near native fluency in English. It's not a high level C2, but it's level C2, I believe. Anyways, in Spanish, of course, and Portuguese, my native language. So, I believe I won't be able to learn any more languages at near native fluency. Except maybe for Galician, if I study it during a long time. But the thing is, I'm not studying Galician almost any. I hardly ever study Galician now. But it's a language very, very similar to mine, and it's a language, not a dialect. Just like a lot of people say, Galician and Portuguese are the same language. They're not the same language. They're similar languages, but they're not the same language. And since I'm Portuguese and I'm versed in Spanish, Galician, if I study it a little bit, it might take me several years because I'm not studying a lot of Galician, and then I do not intend to study a lot of Galician since I have other stuff to do, such as Finnish. Galician might be a language that I might reach and I might achieve a near native fluency because it's very similar to my mother tongue. Swedish. Well, it's hard to reach a near native fluency in Swedish unless I live in Sweden. If I lived in Sweden, or if one day I live in Sweden, maybe in 3 or 4 years I will be able to reach that level. Oh yes, I'm not that as crazy as you guys think. Yes, 3 or 4 years. Maybe 3 years, 3 years counting on if I study the language, use the language daily, maybe I could achieve the very beginning of that level in 3 years. But languages like Finnish, I realize that I will never speak near native Finnish unless I live in Finland for at least between 5 and 7 years. Because not even by the time I have an upper intermediate level in Finnish, not even then, let's see, I'm going to Finland now. With my level of Finnish, it might take me 6 or 7 years to reach that level. Oh yes, it might, at least 5 years. If my level was an upper intermediate level, it would take me 4 or 5 years to reach that level. And that is living there. Because I believe that without living in Finland, I will never be able to speak near native Finnish. Because now I'm studying Finnish and essential grammar in depth, and I know what the game's all about. Or I begin to know that it's really, really hard, even harder than I thought, because there are a lot of things that I didn't have a clue about that, and now I'm beginning to know how hard really Finnish is. So that's why I'm dropping perfectionism. So Galician, yes, it's possible to reach a near native fluency. Let's say 7 years from now, if I keep studying at this pace very slowly. Swedish, it will be very hard. I might reach an advanced level, and I want to reach an advanced level in both languages, Finnish and Swedish, but I intend to keep on studying them for the rest of my life. I already decided that 1 hour of Finnish, 1 hour of Swedish, 5 days a week. During 4 weeks, then 1 week of other languages. But even though I intend to at least not sacrifice one of them, and then 4 more weeks studying 5 hours of Swedish, 5 hours of Finnish. Now I'm doing a little bit more than that. But I won't reach a near native fluency in Finnish unless I live in Finland, of course. And languages like Romanian, Turkish, that I'm yet a beginner, but I want to study those languages on an advanced level. I believe it's possible if I keep them, if I keep those languages as active languages, but it will take me years to reach an advanced level. At least 3 years to reach an advanced level in those languages, especially Turkish. So as you guys can see, my goal is not near native and never has been. Now, talking about near native, I kind of had this dream. Sorry, guys. I kind of had this dream of becoming kind of near native in Chinese Mandarin. I'm a very beginner, so how the hell will I be able to become near native in Chinese Mandarin? But I intend to study this language along my life during several years, and so my goal is an advanced level. But in these languages, I do not intend to reach a near native fluency because I'm not as crazy as some of you guys might think. And same thing applies to Arabic, Japanese, Hindi, and Russian. I intend to study those languages as active languages. Now I'm not studying some of them. I'm studying some of them, and some of them I'm not. But by the time I've studied a few more languages that I intend to study, I will keep a schedule, a good schedule, and I intend to keep it during, let's see, until I motherfucking die. So my goal is low intermediate, low advanced level, but not near native, And even for languages like French, Italian, French and Italian, I have higher goals, but not near native. I had this thing too. I had this kind of dream. I want to become near native in French, but now I realize that in order for you to be near native, you need to live in the country, or you need to use the language every goddamn day, So that's the only way. So advanced level is my goal. Same thing applies. Same thing goes for German. I'm not studying it yet. And that's it. Because, for instance, I will try to have good accents, but that's another thing. I will try to speak with the best accent that I can in several languages. Languages easier to pronounce, of course. But in languages like Vietnamese, for instance, I won't try to be perfect because it's very difficult to pronounce it, and the tones are very hard. So I intend to keep on studying Vietnamese, and I intend to keep on doing it. But if I reach an upper intermediate level, that would be okay, because it's hard to reach a low advanced level in Vietnamese. It's hard to reach a low advanced level in this language because there ain't so many people studying this language. It's hard to practice this language here in Spain. If I lived in the United States, it would be much easier. So an upper intermediate level is should be my goal in this language. And same thing applies, for instance, let's see, Korean, for instance. I would like more, of course, but how the hell am I supposed to speak Korean here in Spain? There are a lot of Chinese restaurants, Japanese restaurants, but Korean restaurants, there ain't so many. And so languages that are harder to practice and very difficult to learn, I believe that my goal should be long-term goal as an upper intermediate level. And same thing should be applied to Thai. The thing is, I'm not studying Thai yet. I did a few lessons. I would like to reach a low advanced level in Thai, but of course, low advanced level to be okay. But I'm talking about 5 or 6 years studying Thai. I'm not talking about 3 months. I don't believe in bullshit like Benny the Irish polyglot says, in fluency in 3 months and stuff like that. That's bullshit, my friends. That's bullshit. And something like Japanese too. I would like to reach a low advanced level in Japanese. But of course, when I say I want to learn so many languages, of course that I have to drop perfectionism. And so there are a lot of languages that my goal is a low intermediate level, as you guys know. Languages like Zulu, Xhosa, Kyosa, I don't know how to say that. Languages like Maltese, Maori, Cherokee, Navajo, let's see what else. A lot of languages that I want to reach a low intermediate level. Low intermediate level, that will be okay. Because we need to drop perfectionism. When it comes to languages very hard to pronounce, like Vietnamese, for instance, I will try to do the best that I can in terms of pronunciation and stuff like that. I will try to improve, but I don't have to be perfect because no one is perfect and no one has to be perfect. And now another language that I had a higher standard to, it's Estonian. Well, Estonian, I had this kind of dream too of reaching an advanced level in Estonian, not near native, an advanced level in Estonian, level C1. But now I realized that that's kind of almost impossible. Even if I have a lot of vocabulary, and that's why I have a good dictionary for Estonian. Even if I have a lot of vocabulary, my Estonian grammar will always be much worse than my Finnish grammar, and there ain't so many Estonian grammars available as there are for Finnish. Anyways, I believe it's possible to reach a low advanced level in due time, all in due course. And that's it. I'm gonna talk about another language, and that's it for now. Catalan. By the time I started studying Catalan, my level in Catalan is A1, A2, B1. It's like that. It's a very low B1 or a very high A2, depending on how we look at it. And I mean, active vocabulary, passive vocabulary, oral comprehension, stuff like that. So, Catalan. Oh, I want to become near native in Catalan. What the fuck am I talking about? Near native in Catalan. No one wants to learn Catalan. Here in Spain, everyone says to me, "Why are you learning Catalan?" I say, "I love the language. It's a very beautiful language, but there's no need to reach a near native fluency in Catalan. And in order for me to do that, I would have to speak Catalan every day. Seeing that doesn't happen, and unless I go living there, that will never happen. So that's it. That's pretty much like it. I know you guys. It seems a little bit like I haven't dropped perfectionism at all, but I did. Believe me, I did. Now, Galician in the course, Swedish. I can reach a very high level in Swedish in 3, 4, 5 years from now, but not near native. Let's forget about near native. And when you say intermediates, sometimes we can say low intermediate, and when we say advanced, we can say low advanced, and that's it. So this is what I wanted to say now, and see you guys then.